So, I have here a what I believe to be a 76 Univox Les Paul copy, and made in Japan. It has a little thing right here. It's a bolt-on neck. There's 2 bolts, and then I took this pickup out to see what was in it, and the tenon, the little piece that kind of goes into the body here from the neck, is also bolted in this way underneath this pickup route. So anyway, a friend of mine asked me to fix this up a little bit. I'm so used to fixing up students' guitars. Asked me to fix it up a little bit. The pickup selector switch was faulty, and the output jack was so rusted inside, so corroded inside, that it just wasn't making good contact. It kept kind of so I was actually able to fix this and keep the original one in. With something like this, I'd rather, keep the original in. And this was beyond repair, so I replaced it, but still used the rusty nut around it, just because it matches the whole rest of the guitar. But anyway, it's a very cool guitar. It's very cool. It sounds good. I can't really talk about the sound of the guitar much, so I apologize if you don't get to see a lot of my playing. There are people that go on YouTube, click on reviews of guitars or whatever, and then complain that there's not a whole lot of playing. Playing depends on, the sound of it depends on so many different things, it's almost pointless to go, here's how the guitar sounds, because then somebody's going to run out and buy like a Slash signature Gibson and be like, why don't I sound like Slash? Because you're not him. But anyway, these pickups definitely have been replaced. The original ones looked similar, but they are slightly different. So this retains sort of the look of them. They look like GFS pickups. I popped one out. The back of it isn't stamped GFS. It has like a circle with like an F in it stamped. It doesn't even look like it's really a logo. So I don't know what it is. This one I didn't bother pulling out because that gave me no information. So I was like, whatever. Everything else, looks pretty much original. I had to take a look at the electronics inside. It looks like parts have been replaced and things like that. Like I said, these pickups definitely look like they've been replaced. The solder, doesn't look factory wiring. But the knobs and everything, look authentic. The tailpiece is a funky little like rectangle kind of squared off thing, and like the ABR, whatever, Nashville Tunematic, whatever you want to call it, the bridge. The pickguard is a cool like plexiglass with, it looks like painted on the back. It's kind of neat. Great top on it. It is a pancake body. So from what I can tell, from what I can see, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 pieces of mahogany on the back. Then that little piece that, in a Gibson I believe, is maple, with the grain going in the opposite direction. The grain on the mahogany on the back is going this way. So then I believe maple. And then this, it looks like it might be, the next piece is maybe 1, 2, 3 pieces of mahogany on that layer there. I'm not sure. It's a little hard to tell just from like the end grain. But anyway, and then it looks like the 2-piece, nicely flamed top, book matched and everything. I do not know if it's a veneer top or if it's a full thickness top, but it doesn't really matter that much. The neck is 3 pieces, and then 2 more pieces on the wings, on the headstock there. The tuners look to be original. it definitely, the headstock has a lower angle. It's like almost barely angled back. And it's a pretty cool guitar, you know, binding and everything. A little heavy, you know, but all those pieces of mahogany and everything, you kind of figure it's going to be a little bit heavy. I know that Gibson did this in the 70s, the pancake type body that they call it, and they stopped doing it in 77, I believe. They started to phase it out. The guy that wanted me to fix it said this was a 76, and it's pretty cool. The neck isn't wider than a Gibson, but get rid of that buzzing. Isn't wider than a Gibson, but the contour is kind of flat with kind of sharper shoulders, so it feels thicker. It feels like a very substantial neck. It's not like a slim shredder kind of a neck. And it seems like it's about the same thickness all the way down the neck. It doesn't get slightly thicker this way as you get up to here. So this here, to me, I'm used to it getting slightly thicker. This here feels really thin, and this here feels a little bit thick. It's a little kind of opposite of what I'm used to, my preference, but you know, nothing wrong with it, just a preference. And the volume and tone are kind of funky. It's volume and tone, volume and tone. And these two are for this pickup, and these two are for that pickup. So I'm used to a standard Les Paul setup, so I keep going for like the wrong knobs and stuff. But you know, whatever. It sounds cool. The action on this is super loud. That's how the guy likes it. And personally, I would put a little more relief on the neck. It's almost like perfectly dead flat. And I would put a little more relief just to get the action a little bit up, because it does buzz a bit. On some of the frets, on some of the strings, you know, but whatever. So, P90 in the neck sounds cool. So let's put a little distortion on it and see what it sounds like. And again, I'm sure these are replacement pickups, but whatever. What about that too? See, I would get the action a little bit higher and it wouldn't fret out like that. And then the P90. Yeah, the action's kind of low. I'm not quite used to it. But it is definitely a cool guitar, and a really cool Les Paul copy. You know, very vintagey look to it and vibe and all of that. And I would recommend, if you like a Les Paul and you want something vintagey and you don't want to shell out a ton of cash, then I would definitely go for the Univox. It's super cool. Definitely.